So I put up the flag video like 4 hours ago. I already sold 3 of them, and there's one flying right across the street from my office. I love this town. Eating and running today. Quick meeting at the Y. Was already at work for a couple hours this morning. Finally getting unburied from vacation. Just running today. Great meeting with some great people here at the Y. Really enjoyed that. It's been like 3 days in a row where I'm just getting solid, life-giving conversations from other people. Today we had talked a lot about not becoming discouraged, so I want to talk about that a little bit later, but I got some other things to do real quick. Just finishing my lunch. I'm back to health food here. Got my nut mix, tomatoes from the garden, cucumber from the garden, kale from the garden. Starting to feel my body come back into like proper alignment, so that's really great. Coming off my sugar and caffeine high from my week in Deep Creek. My 5 bags of cookies, which are now gone, by the way. I ate all 5 bags. They're really making some progress on this junior high site. It seemed like it was at a standstill for a long time, but they're really moving stuff out of there now. Pretty soon it's going to be pad ready for whatever it's going to become next. Don't get Taco Bell, don't get Taco Bell, don't get Taco Bell. You know, I'm not supposed to film at all of these. I don't know if Walmart will mind or not. Yeah, I'm getting Halloween stuff everywhere already. I guess it just feels wrong if it's 90 degrees out and there's Halloween stuff in the store. Just doesn't seem right. Don't get Wendy's, don't get Wendy's, don't get Wendy's. All right, couple of errands to run, but I want to talk about discouragement as I'm walking here. So there are some seasons in life, and some of them are better, some of them are worse than others, but discouragement is always an issue. Whether it's pastoring the church or my job or Habitat for Humanity, all of those things, discouragement can play a huge role, and I think about quitting all of the time. I think about quitting making YouTube videos. I think about quitting doing all the social media stuff that I'm trying to do. I think about quitting constantly. Okay, one bank to the other again today. And so maybe that's you today. Maybe you're discouraged, maybe you're feeling depressed, maybe you feel like you're ready to quit. But you gotta remind yourself of a couple of things. So the first thing is you gotta remind yourself of the past. If you can draw on some good things from the past, then that should be all the more encouraging to you. And if the only thing you can think about in the past are negative things, then you get to have the realization that today is a new day, that it's over with, that today is a fresh start, a new opportunity. The second thing that you have to do is remind yourself of the positive things that are happening around you. You got to look for the good. You got to look for the things to be thankful for, to be appreciative of today. And this applies to everything, okay? But we'll just use our city for example. We can be frustrated with the slow pace of change of our downtown area or of our neighborhoods or whatever it might be. But there's no reason to be disappointed. There's some positive things happening. I look right behind me. You know, this used to have a really ugly awning on it. There's some construction equipment out front. I don't know what's happened in this building, but I know that it's already better than it used to be. And look at all the flowers down the street. All these little flower baskets are just what a beautiful addition to downtown Kittanning this year. I mean, look at these things. All summer it's been beautiful in downtown Kittanning. And look at this building. We're redoing the awning on it, which is excellent. And now we see this today. This is the first time I've seen this. Market Street Flea Market opening this fall. That is fantastic. That's two of the biggest holes I see in downtown Kittanning right there. There's progress being made. This green building right here recently sold. The jewelry store down the street is moving forward and hopefully will be sold someday. And so all of those different things are happening. And so there's so many things that I could be frustrated about. There's so many ways that I could kind of look at the world around me and say, you know, why make YouTube videos? Why pour all of this effort and time into being positive about the city when things just aren't happening? Well, that's just a lie. Things are happening. And so don't quit. Don't get frustrated. Don't get discouraged. So the last thing is you got to remind yourself of God's promises. You got to remind yourself that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are loved and you are cherished by the creator of the universe. You've been created for a purpose. You've been put here for a reason. So go find it and drive after it with everything you have. Look at this guy, Mr. Mark Crosby, waiting for me. How are you, friend?
Good, brother.
Good to see you. I'm ready for you. Just packing up all my things, and the more I had this conversation today, the more I keep talking, I'm just like getting more and more joyful about the future, because when I'm talking these videos, it's not like I'm not like planning these out in a super organized way. I'm mostly just kind of just speaking whatever's on my heart in a given moment, and I think through it because I'm just an analytical person. That's just how I am. But these videos are so spontaneous, and so sometimes when I'm speaking something, it's something I haven't even completely thought through yet. And it's speaking to me just as much as I hope that it's speaking to you. And so I'm like speaking these words about remembering the past and about looking for the good things around you and about remembering God's promises. And it's just like, it's building me up. And I'm just like excited for what God has for the future. It's just like for everyone watching right now, I wish I could just reach through the screen and just shake you and just say, don't be discouraged. Don't quit. Don't give up. There's so many good things coming. Not only for our city, but for you. If you would just grab a hold of what God has for you, take the next step in that direction, and go for it. So I'm just remembering Habitat House is completed, and I'm remembering baptisms and confessions of faith at the church. I'm remembering all the progress of my business, and I'm looking around and watching the city transform before my very eyes, and I just want to encourage you and say, we're just getting started. There is so much change left to happen in this city. And so it makes me want to preach another sermon. It makes me want to cut another yard. It makes me want to work on another Habitat House. It makes me want to make another YouTube video. And so with that, I'll just say I'm greatly encouraged. I hope that you are too. And so I'll see you in the next one tomorrow.